All right, happy Valloween. I'm Val. We're here playing the mystery, thrilling, and unnerving games. I don't know why I said unnerving. Scary games is better. For the month of October, we have just uncovered a big secret that Scott is the love child of Charles and Sophia, and half brother to his girlfriend Trisha. We do not know who killed his mother, and that is what we are now on the path to find. We have now learned that there's a sewer system underneath the town, and we're going to be heading there shortly. However, we have a musical box key, which is used to unlock the music box in Trisha's house. As well as we have a church key, a gate key, which I presume bring us to the well, which we know where Sophia died. As well as we have the sewer key. So with those 4 keys, we're going to be going, and I think we're going to go to the mansion first because it's right up here. And I kind of want to know what's in the music box. I have spent so much time looking around Trisha's room trying to find the metal object. So, forgive me, I am excited. So we got 2 things here. We got the gate key for the back, and we have something else. However, we have a picture. They said that, hold on. This was taken in 97 with what presumed to be a woman. But at that time, 97, Trisha, Vivian, and all of them were dead. Dear Trisha, I've grown to learn the truth about my birth parents. I feel as if a great veil has been lifted from my eyes. I now understand why Father Matthew was against seeing each other. He was right. We shouldn't be together. Please believe me when I say I did not kill your mother. I never lied to you, and I never will. I don't know who killed Vivian. Hopefully the truth will come to light someday. There is so much I want to tell you, but I cannot at the moment. I pray for the day when I can express everything to you, and will come quickly. I can express everything to you will come quickly. All I can say now is that I'm sorry for the pain that I have caused you, and please forgive me. Alright. I didn't see anything else there. Now we have to go to the old gate in the back. Unless the gates for the church cemetery. I'm still looking for a chessboard. Alright, here we go. Trial closed, please do not enter. Oh, this don't look shady. There's something down here. Oh, 0526. I don't know what that's used for. Alright, here we go. I found a bell on the wall, something etched in the back. It doesn't look like there's another, so it's a 4-digit code. Is it for the safe inside the house? Behind the thing? There's a safe in the gallery. Oh, 52674. No. Those were the shot. I thought maybe Scott/Vincent's birthday. Was that a chessboard? No. Nothing I can unlock there. Alright, so we got a sewer key and a key to the church. I guess we'll go to the church for now. There we go. Wait. No, we're good. Alright, hold on. Do we do the sewer or do we do the church? Alright, hold on. Yeah, can I make this bigger? Alright, Painscreek Hospital. I don't know what these means. These could be entrances. Residential. Wait, Mayor's Mansion, Maple Drive, old sewer entrance. So that looks like that's somewhere over here. But I don't see anything. Sewer entrance. No, because this is a road. Can you walk off somewhere over here? Can't walk that way. Oh. Here we go. We're getting somewhere. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. Alright, so we came in through here. So these must be gates because the sewer entrance is there. We came this way. And this is to Farmer's Market. I mean, that all means is this one should not be open-upable. So these are gates. Okay. And I'm assuming these are other doors. So, for instance, this should be to the farmer's market. But both of these are locked. All right. Here's our first junction. So this way towards the church. I hate the squishy sounds. This is to the boulevard. All right, so we can't do anything there. This is bolted from the other side, and that's to the church and all of that. All right. This is much creepier without the flashlight on. All right, at the fork in the road, we're gonna hang a left. All right. There has to be something around. All right, this is locked. That was postal office. And you can't go no more. This is residential housing. It's locked. All right, so next is either the hospital or the river where Scott's at. Or where Scott still used to live. Or is Scott still alive? I can't remember. Okay, this is towards the hunting cabin. That's locked. This is to the hospital. Okay. We got to the hospital. Is that gonna be a faster way of traveling around? Oh, well, I can't go anywhere. Like, wow, would that be a faster way of traveling through places? Janitor's closet. The morgue. Storage. Unlock. Electrical room. Okay. A hammer. I wonder if that could be used to pry out the nails at Bernard's. Forgive me for checking the morgue places. Stephen Moss driver's license. A briefcase key. Bernard H. BH. I called Dorothy last week. She told me something interesting about Sophia. There was a puzzle that she received from Matthew when she first started working at the mansion. Sort of a birthday gift for her. In that puzzle, Sophia was to visit both her and Matthew's favorite locations in Painscreek. In each of the locations lies a clue that Matthew has written on the wall of the building exterior. The clues put together will point her to the location of her gift. I thought it was a neat idea. Sophia's favorite places was Anne's courtyard, the bridge over the stream by the gate entrance, and the post office. Why would someone like the post office, and where can I find Matthew's favorite places? I received an anonymous message this morning. It claimed that Scott wasn't Vivian's killer. Unfortunately, that's all I got. I had my doubts whether Scott really killed Vivian. He sure had motive, but upon reading all of his diaries and looking through the investigation notes, I can't help but to think Scott didn't kill Vivian. On the contrary, he was trying to figure out who killed Vivian as well as what really happened to Andrew Reed and Dr. Johnson. I still don't know if this anonymous person is a man or a woman, but they'll help solidify my thoughts on Scott. I received another message. It told me to look into Bernard, the mansion's butler. I can't help but to feel that that person is trying to tell me something, but not exactly what. The message said I will find something in the house. Today I received a key in the mail with the initials BH. Does it stand for Bernard's house? I searched everywhere, read all of Bernard's diary. Something that just doesn't add up. Maybe it's just a hunch or simply that I'm thinking too much. But would he have really killed Vivian? There's something else about his entries that make me pause and wonder if he's indeed the murderer. I've photographed all pages. Okay. But what this means, that means we can get into the key with the card reader. Vivian Roberts, dear Dr. Henry Johnson, I would like to thank you for your contribution to the Painscreek Community Hospital and the people of Painscreek for the past 2 decades. However, there was reports regarding the mishandling of funds designated for PCH, most of which comes from the Roberts Relief Fund. This support was meant to help the purchases of medical equipment and supplies. Since a sum of nearly $160K has been estimated missing, we have no other choice but to accept to open an investigation. Until you are able to explain the discrepancies between your accounting and ours, we have no choice but to spend all funding for the hospital at the time being. I will be meeting with your accountant to solve these issues so we may continue to support the hospital needs. Did he kill Vivian? To Charles Roberts, I don't know if it's a joke that you sent me a threat letter, but I knew about the well. Then you must have found out the truth. Just so you know, your wife was the one behind it all. If you have any grudge, it's with her, not me. I was just a witness in Sophia's death, nothing more. I know what you did. Meet me in the well at midnight. You know which one. Come alone. That's the same one that wrote the note because of the missing E's. Room 203.
Henry, I just received a letter from the NMB investigation firm regarding the use of the RRF funds. I need you to call me. Henry, we really need to talk. Please call back. What's going on, Henry? Why aren't you returning my calls? This is really important.
Is this Vivian? I don't know. If I remember correctly, Stacey said something about Catherine's pendant lost and found. Hold on. Diaries, no. Newspaper letters, Vivian's letter, Daniel, hiring, workers list, Dorothy's leaving, fund, medical report, Magdalene visits Charles, Henry's advice, other maybe? Oh, that's a water cooler. Alright. So that's another mystery we have to solve. I just don't remember where Lost and Found was. Alright, apparently, one second, I was looking, it's in the medical room. That says there's a note about where there's a combination. Can someone let know that I found her missing pin and I placed it in one of the drawers in the lobby? If she's wondering, I found it in the basement storage. Alright, so there's a pin in a drawer in the lobby. And the pin is supposedly helped to unlock her locker. $1964. Alright. I thought I needed the access to the basement for that. Apparently not. And that was Catherine's one. Norman Jefferson was admitted to PCH at 10:24. Her son found her on the side of the bed and immediately called us. We tried to reach Dr. Johnson, but we were not able to. After the third try, we gave up and called Dr. Schneider, who was not supposed to be on duty. It's the third time that we failed to reach Dr. Johnson. He's never been unreachable this many times before. Susan has been sick 3 days in a row, while Catherine calling in sick at the last moment. Tonight's staff was extremely short-handed. I have agreed to do a double shift again this weekend. It is unfortunate that the 8-year-old Timothy Scott drowned. Rumor was that he was trying to retrieve his toy and lost his grip. He was alone with everyone else playing in the playground. His body was found 5 hours later in the river near the hunting cabin. I was at the end of the hallway when I saw a young lady outside Dr. Johnson's office. It was 11:15 and the visiting hours were over. I called out to her. She turned to me and promptly walked away. I couldn't be exactly sure, but I thought it looked drenched. I looked out the window and it wasn't raining. Okay, so we also got a room key for 203. Has this always been here? Oh man, I'm just getting lost at this point. Now, who is in room 203? This is like one of the first ones we've taken pictures of. Was Fran Reynolds. 208, 206, 207, 205, 202, 203. Yesterday, as on hearing that Scott was apprehended for the murder of her mother, Tricia collapsed. The hospital was called this morning to inform us that it was just a nervous breakdown. However, they suggested that she should stay for another few days. Charles has asked me to stay by her side. It rained today. Tricia has always hated the rain. She stayed in bed, tucked under the blanket, nearly the entire day. Here and there, she muttered Scott's name out loud. She cried to herself to sleep a few days. It pains me to see her like this. Charles visits Tricia almost every day. Today, he was quieter than usual. All of a sudden, he told me that Vivian has been seeing another man, apparently a banker, for more than a year. He asked me if Vivian has ever talked to me about it. I said I didn't know anything, but wasn't sure that Vivian wouldn't have ever done such a thing. Then I realized that Tricia was awake. I'm not sure if she heard our conversation. Sheriff Howard came today. He asked me if I remember seeing another suspicious the night Vivian died. I already told him everything I know. It's frustrating to be asked over and over about that. I just want to forget. Before he left, I asked if Scott really could have been the killer. He said he's wondering the same thing. If Scott was not the killer, then who killed Vivian? Derek came by to see Tricia. I asked him what he's doing. He said that the medical expenses for Wanda were more than he expected. Even with Charles' help, he's been forced to use up most of his savings. He's currently searching for a second job. He asked me if there was a future for him. Traveling with Charles made him see some of the rather ugly sides of the world. His mother is hospitalized with terminal cancer, and seeing his best friend Trisha like this pains him. I didn't know what to tell him. Before he left, he leaned in close and whispered, would it be better if Scott just never showed up? Would you have chosen me? I wish I never heard that. Scott Brooks' body found by a jogger. Police did not know if this is tied to the murder of Vivian Roberts. Scott Brooks, a star suspect in Vivian Roberts' case, was found dead yesterday. His body was found on the roadside along Mapleside Drive at around 6:50 a.m. A jogger happened to find a body lying motionless behind a bush on the side of the road. He stopped to check if a person needed help, only to notice that the body was covered in blood. He immediately called 911. The police shortly arrived around 7 a.m. and the victim was declared dead. The estimated time of death was between 4 and 6 hours prior, putting the incident between 1 and 3 a.m. Questions have been raised in regards to the murder of Vivian Roberts, of which Scott Brooks was a key suspect and had been released from prison. There. What is this key for? Oh, this was Dorothy's room. Oh. That's why for Dorothy's house. Okay. Wrong way, Val. Alright, we got a lot to do. A lot to see. Alright. Let's do Dorothy's house real quick. Dorothy lived at 40 Painscreek. It's right here too, which kind of helps. I don't think it's for her back door. Yeah, that doesn't have an unlock option. So it must be for the bedroom up here. A pendant of Mother Mary. Daughter of ex-mayor found dead in Painscreek Community Hospital. Trisha Roberts falls 40 feet from the rooftop, lands on head, and dies. Yesterday morning, the body of Trisha Roberts was found on the grounds of Painscreek Community Hospital. She was pronounced dead at 7:20. According to the Miss Thompson, she was starting her morning shift when she heard some sound near reception area. She went out to find Trisha was lying motionless. Blood was flowing from her. She quickly called for Dr. Bennett, the attending physician from the day's morning shift, who brought Trisha to the emergency room. However, it was too late. The hospital CCTV footage shows that Trisha Roberts was walking around the hospital around 6:30. She headed to the roof, and a few minutes later, her body was on the ground, 3 floors below. Charles Roberts, ex-mayor and father of the deceased. The hospital is now checking as why the roof's door was not locked. Alright, that's all newspaper articles found. Dear Dorothy, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for all you have done to me. You've taken care of my store on so many occasions. You helped maintain its bright spirit. I would be lying if I said I was saddened by your departure. I will greatly miss you, and I wish the best for your new place. Do invite me when you're there. That's probably to the photo lab. Sophia has... Hold on. It's 4 digits. 0526. Dear Sophia, how have you been? I hope everyone is treating you well at the mansion. It's been 6 months since my missionary work started in Indonesia. Life here is hard but meaningful. I thought my life at the orphanage was miserable, but after coming here, I realized that I am blessed more than I could ever imagine. I'm supposed to be back in 1 week's time, but I recently decided that I will be extending my stay here for another 6 months. I haven't received any letters from you for a while now, and I hope you're doing well. Remember the time we were at the orphanage? You said that you didn't want to be poor anymore? I think God heard your call and brought you to Painscreek. Charles and Vivian told me they are glad I introduced you to them. They said you are hardworking with a kind heart, and that us being related was not the reason they hired you. You got the job on your own merit. I don't know whether or not to tell them that we're not actually cousins. I feel bad for lying to them. I guess I'll have to tell them the truth one day. Having said that, I'm glad that you're in Paynes Creek. We can talk and meet anytime, just like the good old days at the orphanage. I'll do my best, and I hope you can wait for me. Matthew Brooks. I prepared a special present for your birthday. Wait for my telegram that day. I know some people don't like me. Wanda always picks on me and Bernard and ignores me most of the time. Andrew, well, he's okay as long as I'm not in his garden. Dorothy cares a lot for me. I like her. Tom, our security guard, treats me with respect even though I'm just a housemaid. Vivian and Charles are kind to me. Oh, Matthew, too. I almost forgot about him. He's been taking care of me forever, certainly as long as I can remember. I'm a lucky girl. Matthew talks to me whenever he has time. Sometimes I feel he's trying to escape his chores at the church. We'll talk about everything under the sun, our hopes, dreams, future. It reminds me of the days at the orphanage. Landing a job as a maid was the best thing that ever happened to me. However, I never imagined I would be having an affair with a married man, let alone my employer. Now I'm carrying his child. How do I face Matthew? I received a letter from Matthew today, saying that he will be extending his stay in Indonesia for 6 more months. That's always been him. He's always had a noble heart, wanting to help people everywhere. I miss him, but I'm glad he decided to extend his stay there. It gives me time to prepare and how I'll explain my situation to him. I don't know how he'll take it if he just hears the truth blurted out once he gets back. I received a telegram this morning from Matthew wishing me happy birthday. He told me he had a special birthday present prepared for me. All I need to do is find the clues to be placed in our favorite places. He's waiting for my telegram after I solved the puzzles. I actually already solved it already, but I don't know what to say to him. What should I do? My baby was born today at 8:20 a.m. and it's a boy. He looks just like Charles. Dorothy's taking good care of us. She prepares the food and attends to my needs. I almost feel like I'm her boss. Charles visits me all the time, asking if we need anything else. I told him he didn't have to come so often, and instead focus on work. As a mayor, must have lots on his mind. Charles told me today Magdalene will be arriving in 2 weeks. She knows about my relationship. I feel so nervous because she's such a strict woman. At the same time, I'm happy because she told Charles to take responsibility for me and my son. Soon I won't have to be a maid anymore. Charles has decided to name our child Vincent Roberts. I like that name. Alright, I think that's it. Yep, wrong way. Alright. Next area. Alright, so we know what the locket was used for. We have a hammer, a key for the hotel, Bernard's house, and a key to the church, and a key for there. Alright. All of our photography is quite literally postal service is around the corner, but Anne's is right here. So let's do Anne's. We'll go look at the briefcase and we'll go from there. I think that's a good place to start. He was in 201. The code for Charles' safe is in the gallery as Vincent's birthday. How could I have not thought about that? Call Sheriff James, check his file, 7741. Autopsy report, Grand City, Andrew Reed, 3rd degrees, Vivian Roberts. I don't know what that one is. Hold on. Nope, that is the wrong tab. Okay, oh my god. Alright, this is gonna take me a second to fucking spell out. View. It's a collection of air outside the lung. A pneumothorax is a collection of air outside the lung, but within the pleural cavity. It occurs when air accumulates between the visceral and the parietal and visceral pleural inside the two chairs. The accumulation can apply a pressure to the lung and make it collapse. So basically, it's air outside of the lungs between the chest cavity and the actual thing and can cause it. Okay, 44-year-old white man with burns found home, pronounced dead at the scene. 3rd-degree burns found across his body, completely charged over the head, face, neck, and hands, heavily charged across the front and back, body, legs, and feet. Closer interaction reveals punctured lungs with this object similar to a switchblade or small knife. Something is pneumothorax is possible cause of death, but body's too burnt to confirm. 61-year-old white male pulled out of the car, submerged in lake. Victim's lungs did not contain water, which shows that he did not die by drowning. Due to a prolonged submerging of the body in the water, the estimated death cannot be accurate. Estimated time is between 12 to 16 days before. Top right of the skull leaning towards the front it has a wide crack, usually caused by a sharp object and a strong force. Front torso, face, and back portions of forearm suffer numerous lacerations. Victim most likely succumbed to blood loss before being placed in the water. 55-year-old white female found lying in front of the mansion case, pronounced dead at the scene. 12-centimeter wide and 7-centimeter deep crack found at the right side of the head. Impact was by strong force with a sharp object. Lacerations front torso and both sides and both forearms. On back sides of both forearms, victim died of blood loss. Oh, this is for Bernard's. Add up the red and subtract the yellow for code to the safe. All right. Hold on. Wrong room. Sorry. Okay. Single scores. Outer ring is double. Inner ring is triple. Outer ring of the bullseye, the green part is 25. Bullseye is 50. Alright, so let's start. We have red. We have 18 times 2. 20 times 3. And is that a bullseye of 50? And then yellow is that 2? Or on the 5? Well, 1, 7. And I think that's 2. So it's minus 9. Alright. 18 times 2 is 36. Plus 60. 420 times 3 is 96. Plus 50 is... Hold on. 18 times 2 is 36, plus 60 for 20 times 3, plus 50 for the bullseye is 146, minus 9 is 137. All right. So we need to go to Bernard's place now. Bernard's or the photography? We'll go to Bernard's. Bernard Hopkins, 31 Silver Lake. Alright, this is gonna be down more. 11, because this is 31. 18. 25. No. I don't want to leave Painscreek now. Apparently, you can leave at any time you feel like you have enough evidence. So 31 has to be back here. Here we go. So if it's 137, the first digit must be 0. I'm assuming this is the Bernard H key. Okay. 0, 1, 3, 7. Ooh, yeah. Looks like a desk key. Oh my god. When the police reported that Vivian was murdered, I was floored. I still don't know what to do. My mind is blank. All I can think is, how did it happen? How can Vivian be dead? Everyone mourning about Vivian's death. People are coming or calling in to express their condolences. Charles hasn't been out of his room for days, and Trish is crying her heart out. Dorothy has been assigned busy work to all of the mansion's employees, hoping that it would take their minds off of Vivian's death. Samuel, our security guard, has been reviewing all the tapes for the past 2 weeks for any suspicious activities. I wish I could be of any help. Scott was just apprehended for the murder of Vivian. Is that true? No one would have ever thought of that. I could never, ever believe that Scott would be capable of killing someone, let alone Vivian. Yet, it makes me so mad. I feel confused. Trisha was admitted to the hospital today. She had a nervous breakdown after finding out that Scott could be her mother's killer. Her condition has been getting worse over the past few weeks, and no one has been able to properly help her. Charles finally decided to seek help from the hospital. Matthew never believed that his son killed Vivian. He hired some fancy lawyer to defend him. Scott's been released on bail today. It's beyond ridiculous. I don't think Scott should have been released at all, despite the insufficient evidence he killed Vivian. I know that he's guilty. Everyone knows it. They should have gone ahead and prosecuted him. The maids were cleaning the mansion when they found some stuff belonging to Vivian, a key and some stationery. I asked Charles what he would like me to do with them, but he told me to take care of it myself. I brought them back to my place. Vivian's death has caused a lot of grief to everyone, especially Charles. After hearing how heartbroken Charles was 2 nights ago, I can't bear to see him suffer anymore. Scott should pay for what he did. So it's Vivian's desk key. Okay. It's a bloody knife. Oh, Bernard, did you kill Scott? Bitch. Wrong button. I drove Vivian today since Derek is out of town with Charles. As I was driving, we talked. She expressed that despite having a successful business, she felt empty and tired. Trisha hates Vivian for trying to stop from Trisha hates Vivian for trying to stop her from seeing Scott. She seems really bothered by the name Vincent, and her relationship with Charles seems to be just for show. I wish I could comfort her. She's going through so much right now. If I could only confess to Vivian how much I respect for her and how much I admire her. Ever since Trisha brought up the name Vincent, Vivian has been pretty quiet. Even during dinner, she hardly spoke. I can barely remember the last time Vivian appeared happy. I don't think anyone could blame her. Wanda hasn't been coming to work for a while now. Her illness is getting worse. I wonder how she's coping. Derek wasn't available to drive Vivian again, so I offered help. It's been a month since I first drove for her. She's been opening up more and more to me, telling me about the struggles she's faced, her rocky relationship with Charles, how she really dislikes Scott. Sometimes I would give her some suggestions on when she asks what she should do. Other times she just wants someone to listen to her. Mostly I'm just happy to be with her. Vivian seems rather distraught recently. During the afternoon tea gathering, I stood outside the room and tried to listen to the conversation. She feels miserable being with Charles. They hardly look at each other, let alone speak. Personally, I don't think Charles deserves her. I finished reading Vivian's biography. Half of the facts are incorrect. The writer should have been done his homework better. Sometimes when I'm driving for Vivian, she asks me to drop her off at the corner of the street, typically in front of Tom's Cafe. She always telling me that she'll make it back home on her own. It aroused my curiosity, so after dropping her off today, I parked the car and watched her. She ordered a cup of coffee to go. She then left the cafe and walked the street for about 5 minutes to a residential area. She stopped in front of my apartment and pressed the doorbell. Shortly after, a man in his early 30s wearing a suit opened the door. He leaned over and hugged Vivian. She gave the coffee to him and they exchanged words. I couldn't hear what they said, but they entered the apartment. Who is he? This is now the 6th time I followed Vivian. After she went into the building with the guy, I parked the car nearby to wait for her to come out. Is this considered stalking? About 2 hours later, a cab stopped out in front of the apartment. Shortly afterwards, Vivian came outside, and the man followed closer behind. They chatted for a bit. Vivian looked extremely uncomfortable with him. Before leaving, she kissed him on the cheek. What's going on? I tracked down the guy who works at a bank. The place they meet is his apartment. How could she do that? Who the hell is he? I reported sick for the 3rd consecutive day. As I lay in bed, I keep thinking why Vivian would be seeing another man. No matter what Charles did to her, she has kept her faith in him throughout the years. How could she be having an affair now? She's better than that. She's supposed to choose me. Oh, clothing drawers for a change. Day 1. The hospital gave me these pills. They're supposed to help fight depression. I feel a slight dizziness. It might be the food that I ate this morning. The dizziness comes and goes. I'm still able to work. Not a big problem. It's my day off today. I didn't take the medication. By the evening, I started thinking about Vivian. I had to drive Vivian again, so I took double the dosage. I had a migraine for the rest of the day. At least I have to think about her. Couldn't Vivian stop seeing that guy? Why can't I stop thinking about it? Now I know that my dizziness comes from these pills. The pills, they don't seem to work anymore. It doesn't matter if I take them or not. I can't stop imagining Vivian and that guy are doing whatever they meet. I stopped taking the medication. Alright, so that's it of the Bernard Hopkins story, according to that. A desk key for her, a church key, and the key to Oliver's place. Alright. Oliver's place should be right down here. Office at Church Haven, Old Jersey. Dear Mr. Oliver Green, we regret to hear that Father Matthew will not be joining any part of the annual religious gathering event from July 18th to the 23rd in South York. We received Father Matthew's memo yesterday stating that he was not feeling well. I assume he also informed you that about this last-minute change. Please send him our regards. We wish for a swift recovery so he may serve the people of Painscreek soon. Thank God that everyone in this town writes diaries. We just attended Trisha's funeral this morning. Charles tried to be strong, but by the end of the ceremony, his face was wet. Dorothy cried her heart out. It truly pains the soul to witness so many deaths occur here in Painscreek. Every one of those deaths was a person I knew, and some were very close to me. Among them, Vivian's death shocked me the most. Despite what the media says, I will not for even a moment believe that Scott killed her. I just don't make sense to me. Trisha's death haunts me the most. Probably because I spent the last few years mentoring her. She was smart, kind, and very talented. She was turning into a very promising young woman. With her passing, Charles has lost all family members. He's all alone, and I can't imagine the pain he's going through. Dorothy left Painscreek early February, a month after Trisha's funeral. The hospital closed shortly after. By the end of the month, Charles was packed and departed Painscreek for good. Wanda passed away in March. Her cancer was spread too far and too deep. The doctors could not have saved her. 2 weeks after her funeral, Derek moved out of Painscreek. Autumn is approaching. My photography store will be closing by the end of the month. I have many things to say, but there's no one left to confide in. Anyways, I've been thinking about retiring for a while now. Maybe the time has come. So that's the only diary for him, because the achievement came up for reading all of his diaries. He's supposed to have tools. A wrench and a shovel. All tools found. Cool. Now I just gotta remember what the tools were for. I'm assuming the time capsule. Alright, so we got the key to the church and the key to that. So we'll go to the church next, which should be at the end of this road. We're coming up close to doing a part 6, but I think I might just power through and get it done. I wonder if the church keys for this part of the cemetery that's locked. No, well, they said that there was... Oh, by the way, I might as well take a picture of Sophia's grave. It'll be good for reporting. No, they said it was the playground by the big rock in the cemetery, so I'm assuming over there, but that's locked. So maybe I'll get the key for that in here with the key that I have. Alright, let's go look for locked doors. A few months has passed since I arrived here. The missionary trip is harder than I expected. There's no clean water, the food lacks nutrients, and there isn't enough medicine. We have requested help from WHO, but haven't received any reply yet. I feel so frustrated. What can I do? When Father Calvin first sent me here, he asked me if I would be willing to stay for 6 months. It would be good training for me, he said, and I agreed. That was before I came. 6 months has now passed, and I think I will extend for another 6 months. The people here need as much help as they can get. I am not a doctor, but I can help them through my support and prayers. I will let Father Calvin know about my decisions. Time flies, and I can't believe I'll be going home tomorrow. I miss the people here, and at the same time, I can't wait to get back home and meet everyone again. Father Calvin has summoned me this morning and told me that Sophia had left Painscreek. How could that be? The last time we wrote, she told me that she had so many things she wanted to share with me when I got back. Was she forced? Is she hiding something? I just cannot believe Sophia left without telling me anything. Something must have happened to her that she could not tell me. It's been almost 6 months since Sophia left Painscreek. I have asked everyone around. No one seemed to know where she went. Father Calvin told me to let it go. He's right. I should not dwell on matters of the heart. There are more important things in life than I need to focus on. If Sophia and I were meant to meet again, God will let me know. It's time that I move on with my life. O'Malley Associates, dear Mr. Brooks, we have evaluated your case and accept your request to represent your son, Scott Brooks, in court. We are in the process of drafting an appeal for his release. Considering the sensitivity of the situation, we urge you not to make any public statements until consulting with us. Additionally, we would like to make any copies of government documents related to in any way to your son, medical records, transaction, travel, previous crimes, etc. The more we have, the better we can help your son's case. We will be in contact within a few days. Donation, payment, check from car dealership, Sunday type things, hosting community potluck, first payment to Scott Lawyers. I had always wanted to be adopted, but I guess heaven had something else for me. Instead of being taken by a family, I came to this church. To be honest, I would have preferred a real family with people who I can call mom and dad, but Father Calvin said God had other plans for me, for my future, and in time I will come to realize this. The Roberts family is looking for a new maid. I told Mrs. Robertson that a relative of mine would fit the position really well. I know I shouldn't lie, but I want Sophia here in Painscreek. Father Calvin always said we have to help those in need. Sophia's in need, and I'm sure she'll be glad to have this job. She started the job at the mansion. Sophia settled in nicely. Whenever she has time off from work, we've been exploring Painscreek together. I have so much to show her. This is just like the orphanage days, and I'm extremely comfortable being with her. Today was Sophia's day off. We ate at the Moon Cafe again. I can't seem to get enough of that place. The food is delicious, the atmosphere is relaxing, and the coffee tastes great. Maybe it's all because of Sophia's company. Still, I love to hang out there. There's definitely one of my favorite places in Painscreek, followed closely by the church and the Little Big Bucks. So we now have his favorite places. A desk code. I don't remember seeing a code anywhere for a desk. I have a desk key. Alright, so what we have left, we have a key for a desk for Bernard, and that's going to go to Vivian's. The shovel for the time capsule can be used in drain covers. I believe this is by the... okay. I'm going to reevaluate and take a quick break. Well, break for me is like 2 seconds for you guys, but regardless. Alright, after running around a little bit, I found out what I needed one of the tools for. Derek's mother house, Wanda, had a stuck drawer, and I found it. The school called. The principal told me that the kids have been calling Derek names, saying that he's a bastard child. I know that Derek wants to know where his father is, and I don't know what to say to him. Excuse me. The school called me again and told me that Derek poked a bird's nest till it fell out of the tree. After that, he stoned the chickens to death. This resulted in him being suspended from school for a week. The principal asked if Derek had any suffered from any kind of trauma that would cause him to act like this. I could not tell him that Derek witnessed Sophia being killed. He was only 5 when it happened. Derek stopped going to school. He told me school isn't for him. I shouldn't have asked him to keep quiet about Sophia's death. He must have been bottling up emotions all the years. Maybe it's time to start homeschooling him. Ooh, so her 5-year-old was there. Dear Miss Wanda Tyler, after most 5 months of session, your son Derek is much better. We are still unable to get him to talk much, but he has chosen to express his thoughts and feelings through written tests, which is breakthrough for him. During his sessions, however, he wrote the following. Dad was standing in the middle of the road. He was waving to me. Mom was crying and her tears dripped down my face, and I woke up. Kitty was purring and licking my face. I think she wanted to go out. Mom doesn't like me to make noise when it's late at night. Says it will wake everyone up, so I was very quiet when I opened the back door, and Kitty flew away. There were noises behind the wall fence. There was a door that was always locked, but there was a light beyond the keyhole. I walked to the door and looked through the hole, and there were 4 people. 2 of them were fighting, and a baby was crying. Then one of them fell down and hit her head. She stopped moving. Her eyes were open. I wet my pants because she was looking at me. Derek has since been very quiet. We haven't been able to grasp fully if what he wrote was real or imaginary. Nevertheless, we are concerned about this thing. Kindly get back to us to discuss further. So he saw her fall and hit her head. Oh, that could be important. Alright. Now we have to go solve the Matthews puzzle. And we still have Queen 7, Rook 1, was it? Other way around. Alright. So, apparently, according to this, we now need to solve the 6 favorite things that they liked together. Which is his favorite places that were written down, what we took a picture of. Definite places of things was the Moon Cafe. The church. And Little Big Books. And one of these will give us the code for his desk, I'm assuming. And then we have Anne's Bridge for the stream in the post office. Okay. I don't see anything on the outside of the church. This one might give me the hardest point. Alright, the bridge. Where was it again? It was Sophia. I received a telegram wishing you happy. He told me he had a special birthday present prepared. All I need to do is find the clues that he placed in our favorite places. He's waiting for my telegram after I solve the puzzle. Okay. But we can't get into the post office. And I don't think there's anything here. Church. Ball missing, locked out. Nothing there. Because you're talking this was years ago. Okay. I don't see anything like on the walls or anything like that. Alright, I'm gonna work on this a little bit more and maybe I can find something. Alright, I can't find it. Alright, we got the room for Vivian's. Apparently from what people said, they're all outside. It has to be feasibly where someone's at, like... Oh, wait. Okay, so we got Bird. Okay. So that's Anne's. Moon Cafes. So Bird House. Let me write this down. Okay, and this was the books. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong side of the cafe. Maybe it's at the front of the entrance. Oh, wait. Playground? Here, let's write that down. Alright, so that's a church. We still have the church and the bridge to do. Alright. And we also have the we also have a thing for the sheriff's room. Alright. 1203. All right. I think the last is just a place over here. Stump. Sorry, I have to remember I have to go this way. I believe this is 7731. Oh, come on, I took a picture of it. Seven 741. The crack in Vivian Roberts' skull shows us a weapon used with the same object and a heavy, sharp end. Something like an axe would fit the description. To cause a crack that big, the attacker must be rather strong. I'm assuming it's either a man or a strong woman who is experienced in the use of the weapon. The victim must have been facing the attacker because of the laceration to the front of the torso, as well as the backside of both arms, shows that she tried to block the attack by holding her arms up. The fatal strike landed on the right side of the victim's head, just right above the right eyebrow. This clarifies the following. The victim was facing the killer. The killer is strong enough to land such a clean but deadly blow, and that the killer is left-handed. Wasn't there a note that said someone was left-handed? Since the murderer was never recovered unconfirmed, my assumption of the act still remains. Since this is doing me a solid, do not under any circumstances leak this information or I'll be in big trouble. The guys in Grand City doesn't want anyone necessary to know these details. Hold on. Here it goes. I had interacted with Bernard today. His left wrist was swollen pretty bad. When I asked him what happened, he claimed he fell during rock climbing and twisted his left hand, so he can't help but writing the Easter invitations. I told him that he only needs his right hand for writing. He looked at me as if I was joking. How could I have known that he was left-handed? So Bernard had the knife, but it was an axe that killed her. Not a knife. So it could not have been Bernard then, right? Alright, so we had stump, birdhouse, playground, and a code. Well, here's the playground, there's a birdhouse. So where's the stump? I was just gonna do the whole walking left thing. It's locked. The code was 1203. Dear Sophia, it's been quite a while since I last wrote you. I've been busy and I hope you're doing well. Father Calvin has been guiding me on how to be a man of God. to grow my faith in the Lord and my compassion for people. When I see those who have no beds to sleep upon and no food to eat, my heart goes out for them. I wish I could do more. Father Calvin has been handing me more and more responsibilities. He seems like he might be retiring soon. He gave me his favorite desk in the study room. He changed his code to 0318, the day you first came to the orphanage. Painscreek has been very quiet recently. Nothing much on this small town. Oliver is still Painscreek event photographer. Charles and Vivian are running their business as usual. Trish is 7 now. She's really smart and loves to hang out with her dad. Dorothy's the same old Dorothy that we all love. Bernard's still the reliable butler. I don't think he'll ever be replaced. As for me, well, I'm still here waiting for your return. Do you remember the church attic? Well, I spend most of my free time up there now doing wood carving. It helps me relax. Hey, I even got pretty good at it. Sometimes I'll think of you and how we spent our time together. I'm not sure if you even realize how I felt towards you. Since you left, I keep writing these letters, but I never mail them. And to be honest, it's because I don't have a clue where you may be staying right now. And at the same time, writing to you made me feel like we're so close to one another. Today marks the 6th year that you left Painscreek, and I still don't know why you left. All I want to say is take care. This will be my last letter, and one day I hope to see you again. Happy birthday, please wait for my return. So he was planning on marrying Sophia. Alright, let's go. Wrong tree brush. Alright, so we have to go back to the church. And we have to go to Vivian's room. We're right here, so I might as go to Vivian's house, the Vivian's room real quick. And get that over with. Alright. Because this is the last key that I have right now. Although we lived in the same house, Charles and I had hardly speak to each other. I know that he's been feeling guilty ever since his affair, but that was 20 years ago. It's high time I forgive him out loud. Next, I need to work things out with Trisha. I've been objecting her relationship with Scott for quite some time. In doing so, Trisha has been avoiding me. I haven't been a good mother, but I want to be there whenever she needs me. From now on, I just want things to go back the way they were. The agency arrived for a new guy to help me. His name is Owen Smith. Quite a young man for what he has accomplished. During our meeting, Owens has asked me many things, as if he was interviewing me. The brief introduction turned out to be hours long. However, by the end of it, he said he has everything he needed and will get moving right away. I have a good feeling about him. Owen called to meet me today. He had his papers ready for me to sign. He said that the location of the exhibition has been approved. All we need is a down payment. That's great. I signed all the papers almost immediately. After that, I informed our accountant, Helen, to transfer the money from Robert's relief fund since the hospital won't be needing them for a while. Owen's been great since we brought up the idea of an art gallery for the public, and I'm not sure if things could have gone quickly if it had been some other agent. I own that much. The art gallery has been open for 3 months, and I'm excited for it. We received most of the artwork from the contributors and artists. All I ask for Charles is he's willing to donate some of his paintings. If the exhibition succeeds, it'll be good for us in Painscreek. I have never felt alive in a very long time, and a purpose now. Do we know his birthday yet? Scott's? I don't believe so. Alright, to the church. The church is this way. Do. Crap, I was supposed to go upstairs first. Nope. It's here. Oh, what was the date? Event canceled. Sophia's birthday gift. Matthew's letter. (0318), not 78. Sorry. I visited Scott today. I can't believe what he said. How could Sophia be dead? How could Andrew, Henry, and Vivian have all killed her? Did Dorothy know? How about Wanda or Charles? Did they know? Why didn't anyone tell me? I visited Sophia's grave today, and it was just a wooden cross that Scott made. There was no name on it. I placed some flowers in front of it. She always had a liking for flowers. We had mass today. Vivian and Henry were there. Andrew, as usual, didn't come. All I can think of whenever I look at them is whether they actually killed Sophia or not. As they praised the Lord throughout the sermon, I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't bear to see their faces. What should I do now? I know I should forgive him, but it's so difficult. I'm dying inside. I wish I never visited Scott. I wish I never heard what he said. I wish I could just forget everything. June 6th. I need to talk to Andrew. I need him to confess. Alright, what now? I didn't realize this part's an hour and a half long. Alright, so apparently, from my understanding, at this point I'm just determined to finish the game. Because we're closing in. The only thing we need to do is find the time capsule. And according to people, you never go to that area of the cemetery. But the time capsule is by a tree somewhere. So now I'm trying to find that. So apparently, because we don't get there, then it is this rock here. There we go. Apparently this was actually pretty hard to find. Sky's gone and Trisha is dead. How did this happen? We held Trisha's funeral last week. There could have been more people. There should have been more. But the village has been barren for a few months to a year. My generation is just moving out and the old generation is simply dying out. I'll also be leaving here soon once my mother passes on. Once I can't take care of her any longer. The night Vivian died, I saw Scott meeting her. I was at a distance from where they were arguing. I couldn't hear the details, but I could tell they were disagreeing. When Scott left and went back to the cabin, I followed him. I watched him through the window till early morning, all the time thinking on how he could have drifted that so far. How could Trisha choose him over me, and am I not good enough for her? The police questioned me when Scott was suspected of killing Vivian. I know he didn't do it, but I decided not to tell him what I knew. With Scott locked up, I could have a chance to be with Trisha. I didn't expect that a small omission on my part would eventually lead to Scott's death. When Scott died, Trisha ended her life in a way. I too died that day. I never wished for Scott to die, nor Trisha, and I hope they can forgive me. Graduation bear. The three of them together. A bishop with a 9. So queen was 1, rook was 7, bishop is 9. Hospital, underground things. Hidden room in the study in the mansion. And secret room above father's room in the church. Alright, there you go. Back to Charles's room. Oh, I'm starting to think there should have been a teleportation thing. All of this cardio must be pretty fit. Here we go. Alrighty. Here we are. We look to our right, we look to our left. So, we have to go to Charles's room, which is the study room, which is up here to the left. I'm slow! Look. Because now we have to figure out how to get into... Knight is 5. Pawn is 2. No, we read these. Did I somehow read this already? This is Charles. Like, we're supposed to know this by now, and I don't have the information to know the code. So let me go see where I'm supposed to figure out where to get the code for this one, because apparently it's in a document somewhere, and I don't have the document, as far as I know. So I'm gonna see what document it is, where I'm missing it, and where I can go get it, and hopefully it'll leave, like, another string I have to go follow. Alright, I have finally found the journal. We have a date for the gallery. Because apparently the information we need for there is in the safe in the gallery, and I'm like, oh, but we don't know the gallery information. No, we do. I just was too stupid to remember it. To actually pay attention to the dates. It's a date, so it's 6/1/1975. And that gives us the last code here, which is King 4. I, Charles Roberts, address the sound mind my last will and testament. Article 6b of my will shall be modified. Should a boy be born of the Roberts family that is a direct lineage to Charles Robert, if he is the elder son and no other thing, that he shall inherit all of them as he is at least 25 years of age. The firstborn child of shall inherit 50 other things should he pass away. Article: Vivian Roberts, born of Charles and Sophia Miller, Vincent Roberts, on June 1st of Painscreek, shall be acknowledged as a family members effectively of July 1st. So he added him to the will. I cannot believe that Scott killed my wife. It's been spewed all over media. How? Why? He loves Trisha and I treated him like my own son. It doesn't make any sense. I visited Scott today and asked him why he killed Vivian. I asked him I asked him why he would kill Vivian. He did not answer, but simply looked down at the floor. Wanted an answer so desperately that I nearly rattled his neck. Does he even feel any guilt or remorse for what he's done? How can he not say anything? I visited Scott again, knowing that he'll be released soon. There just wasn't any evidence to pin him. He looked thinner than before, but I didn't care. I wanted to know why he killed Vivian. When I asked, he stared at me. I was so angry that I yelled at him. I was about to leave when he says, I was about to leave when out of nowhere he said, I pity the ignorant. What the hell does that mean? I got drunk last night at the inn. Scott is now a free man. I think I babbled about how much I despise Scott and what I would do to have someone get rid of him. Did I really say that? How did I get home anyways? Oh, right. Bernard was with me. He drove me home. Study room. King or knight? Queen, bishop. So 5, 4, 1, 7. No, bishop is 9. All right, 5194. All right. So now with this code, we can go unlock that. To Charles Lebron, upon your request to investigate Andrew Wright and Henry Johnson's death, due to confidentiality agreements with our sources, we are unable to reveal the true nature of their deaths. Suffice to say, both of them did not die of said accident, so we dug deeper. We found that Andrew and Henry were both related to the disappearance of Sophia Miller and the death of Magdalene Roberts 20 years ago. What really happened to Sophia, we do not know as of now. However, some evidence was brought to light regarding Magdalene's death. We talked to a retired nurse. She used to work at Painscreek Community Hospital. Although she preferred to remain anonymous, according to her, she came across a note while cleaning Dr. Johnson's office. In it, Johnson stated that the prescription was lethal and to be administered only to Magdalene, and the dose just had to be precise or will not work. No one else shouldn't take it. A letter was made out to your wife, Vivian Roberts, according to the note. If you'd like us to stop this investigation, let us know at the earliest convenience. Otherwise, we'll continue to find out the truth about Sophia's disappearance. Our investigation was initially promising. We possible witnesses who might know something about Sophia's disappearance. Months later, however, we are nowhere near knowing what happened to Sophia. We searched through all the states for any possible trace, but no avail. What we did conclude at this time is the main cause of Sophia's disappearance has to do with Andrew, Henry, and Vivian. Now they are gone, we are unable to get the truth about what really happened to Sophia. If we prefer, we can still continue to search. However, the results look bleak. We have posted rewards for any information regarding Sophia, hoping it'll be just a matter of time before someone with real information steps up. For the time being, we suggest you to wait. Months ago, the night before Vivian was killed, I confronted her about Mom's death. She said she didn't know anything about it. She only administered the medicine I provided by Dr. Johnson. She was lying. I could see in her eyes. She was scared and she was hiding her fear. I know that Vivian was completely truthful with me, but I still have no proof yet. She never liked Mom, but I wouldn't have thought it capable of killing her own mother-in-law. I know she had something to do with what happened to Mom and Sophia, but what can I do? She's my wife after all, and now Vivian's dead, so is Scott, and now Trisha's dead too. Is this my punishment for having an affair I had 20 years ago? Alright. There's only one thing left to do. I think. Now we need to get upstairs with the hidden thing, and there was a thing inside of the briefcase that told us to pull on the lamp by the father's house and release a secret door. But I believe that's gonna have a key, and we don't have a thing for all the keys yet, so I'm trying to figure out where we could find said key. Alright. Okay. Apparently it's the... Oh, look, I had to look this up. Apparently, the key to get into there is the last hiding spot of the time capsules. Which is a drain one. And the only drain that can be opened is by the cemetery. I love how I just walked around in a circle just to go down the street. According to this, there's the key we needed. And thus what I said we're rearing to the end like 40 minutes ago, we are finally getting there. The photo from the briefcase said that there is a button. Which we use the key for. Someone came to Painscreek she cannot know. A bloodied axe, which was used to murder Vivian. I don't know, that's just very creepy. Dearest Matthew, I'm writing this letter to let you know what happened to Sophia. My days are almost up, and I feel like you have the right to know what happened. In 1974, when Vivian Roberts underwent a cesarean to deliver Trisha, she was told she could not give birth anymore. Vivian broke down mentally and was hospitalized. Sophia was tasked with taking care of the newly born Trisha and helping Charles Roberts. Charles was facing a lot of difficulty and pressure. Unfortunately, found comfort in Sophia, and they had an affair, and a boy was born. A few months later, Vivian found out about the relationship. She was furious, feeling threatened by the illegitimate boy. Vivian kicked Sophia and the babies out of Painscreek. Everyone believed them. But the truth is, I took the boy and put him in St. Patrick's orphanage and named him Scott. Time flies. He's going to be 10 soon. I pray that you can bear the responsibility of raising him. He does not need to know about his real parents. It's in the past. Instead, give him a new start. I sincerely hope you forgive me in this. I don't know. I'm just very creepy up here. Okay. Dear Matthew, it's been more than 2 years since I started work at the mansion. I like this place a lot. The people here are nice to me. Thank you for your letter. Although I cannot be there with you for your missionary work, I will pray for your success. You were always a noble one. Do you remember the wishes we made at the orphanage? Yours was to help the unfortunate. Mine was to not be poor. Well, I did not expect an opportunity not so soon. Maybe heavens has helped me. With all that's happened the past few months, my wish might come true. I'd love to tell you more about it, but I cannot wait until you're back. Thing will be very different, and I hope for the better. Alright. We save here. The reason is that this will be the end of the game. Upon listening to...
June 6th, 1995. I met Andrew in the evening at his house.
Alright, so apparently I was muted. Okay, the reason why we saved is because once we click the recorder, we cannot save. It is the end of the game. So now we're only going to do only one of two things will happen. The killer will reveal itself and we will either be caught or we will run away from the killer and escape. That is what we're currently are our two options. We're going to run into the killer for the first ending and then we're going to run away for the second.
He was hallucinating when we met, saying that he's seen Sophia everywhere, that he's a sinner, and that he should die. But I didn't mean to kill him. My hands are still shaking. June 30th, 1995. Dr. Johnson came. He was surprised to see me. He tried to justify, saying it wasn't his fault, that he was only carrying the baby and had nothing to do with Sophia's death. When I revealed the truth about Magdalene, his face turned white. He didn't expect anyone to know the truth. He deserved to die. July 19, 1995. Just like the doctor, Vivian came alone. Instead of feeling guilty, she called Sophia a bitch who destroyed everything she had. I didn't feel any sign of remorse, feeling of guilt, or repentance from her at all. So I gave her time to express herself. And then I killed her. It's all over now. Why am I not at peace? There's this nosy investigator in town. I thought that if I led him to believe that Bernard killed Vivian, he just might believe it. But I made the mistake of trying to mislead him. Now he's suspecting me of being the killer.
So Bernard's not
He
the
has to
killer.
die.
So this person killed Scott, the three of them. Okay, oh god, music's going. I love that walking animation. Alright. Oh wow. They made this very hard to actually, come on, walk me again. That's an amazing screen. But yes, we have learned that the killer... To Janet, where are you? You were supposed to be in Painscreek for a day or two. It's been over a week now. We're worried about you. Please reply back as soon as you see this. 4 weeks later. Sun City's journalist Janet Kelly is officially missing. Her last assignment involves the investigation of the Painscreek. Just like that, the credits will play. Alright. Alright. Now we're gonna have to re-listen to this real quick, and then we get to run for our life. But yes, we know that he spends all of his times in the study. That the killer is none other than Matthew Brooks. Now it's time for us to run. Alright. It's Sophia, but she's not real. Okay. Time for us to go through the sewers. No, he's actually running now. I will say a bit slowly. Sophia's this way. I'm assuming that's Sophia. That's the only one that makes sense. Long block hair. Kind of spirity. This way. Woo, I appreciate that. We're going to the hospital. I pressed E to close it. Instead of left click. Okay. So we're at the hospital now. Where are we supposed to go? Oh, there's Sophia. A broken ledge. Someone could have fallen and died. Oh no. Okay, there, Sophia. There we go. Saved by Sophia at the last second. Right where Trisha was found. I'm glad you made it back safely and covered the truth of the Painscreek killing. Good job. Your story will be front page news tomorrow. Please submit the following information as well as a photo for your article. By the way, we found out who hired P.I. Stephen Moss. Who killed Vivian Roberts? That was Matthew Brooks with an axe and a photo for the newspaper article. I thought I took one of Scott's murder board. Here we go. I liked that. To Dorothy Patterson, my name is Janet Kelly, and I'm here to inform you on the behalf of P.I. Stephen Moss that the secrets of the Painscreek Killings have come to light. He is, however, missing. The police are searching for his whereabouts. While preparing for this letter, I cannot help but to wonder, what if Charles didn't commit adultery? What if Vivian had not confronted Sophia? What if Magdalene had insisted on a son to continue the family line? Could have things turned out differently? In hindsight, it's easy to say what they should not have done. Sometimes it's hard to make the right choices in life, isn't it? Did Derek really hate Scott so much that it led to his death? Could Matthew not have sought revenge for Sophia? And why did Henry Johnson choose to be an accomplice in Magdalene's death? The truth was that everyone made a choice that they think was the best, but not necessarily the right one. This made me realize the following. We have the freedom to say and do whatever we want, but there are consequences following our actions. The bigger the mistake, the harsher the consequences. It was true that Charles and Sophia's affair was wrong, but Vivian had a choice. Either to confront Charles about it, or to take it out on Sophia. She chose the latter. Just as Vivian made her choice, so did Andrew, Henry, and Matthew. In the end, they all had to face the consequences. One thing that puzzled me, if Steve and I were both trying to find the truth, why was I saved but not him? I hope I can find the answer someday. Till then, this is the story of the Painscreek Killings. And with that, the game is done. The first official... I don't know what order this is being done, but this is the first one I recorded for Valloween. And it was a great game. Longer than I thought. I honestly thought it was going to be like a couple hours. And I definitely didn't expect the last part to be 2 hours long, to be fairly honest. But with that, we know who the killer is. We have solved the mystery. And with that, the truth has been revealed. 95% complete. Huh, I guess I missed some, maybe a file or something. Now I wonder if I click continue. By all means, it should put me right in front, so in case I want to go back and see if what I missed. Yeah, alright. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the super long part of the ending of Painscreek Killing. The game is, honestly, took me about like 10-ish hours to complete, And the game is $20. I highly recommend it, and I'm looking really forward to their next game. But anywho, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game as much as I have, and thank you for enjoying this journey with me. Now, until the next Valloween game, have a good one, and thank you.